And Martin, I'm making you the presenter. Looking forward to this. And you're a courageous guy. They say that a lot of people fear public speaking more than death. So I guarantee you one thing, you won't die doing this, okay? So all you have to do is that. Hi, Martin.
Oh, yeah. Hi, how are you doing?
Martin, it's nice to meet you. How long have we known each other? I know it's the first time I've talked to you.
Probably for about a year. I think. I mean, I'm following you on Twitter for about a year.
Oh,
now.
okay.
And, so, I mean, we obviously don't know each other, but we had a conversation on a few occasions in the past.
Okay. So, where are you from? Where do you trade from?
I trade from UK, and originally I'm from Poland, from Eastern Europe, from Poland.
Okay. All right. So you travel between the two places, and
well, I live in UK for the last 12 years. I used to live in Japan for a short period of time as well, and Brazil. So I basically move around. And
wow, you're an international citizen.
Yeah, I could say so. Yeah.
Okay.
And
well,
I actually started trading only a year and a half before, and basically I haven't got much experience. There's a lot of things which probably I still have to learn, but I'm getting there slowly.
okay.
And yeah, I mean, you just ask if I want to share something with you guys. I'll do my best.
Okay, that's all anyone could ever ask of anyone or ourselves. So there is a screen share function if you want to show your screen. And
yeah, I mean that's the only problem I actually have with the with your platform, because I got two computers which I use for trading, and only one of them have microphone. So I'm happy to show you my screen, but unfortunately on my laptop where I got the microphone, I haven't got my MetaTrader platform, so I can only open my IG. But
okay, but I have a couple of questions to ask you. So you just started trading. What have you learned in the last, let's call it, year and a half from when you first looked at it? And I assume you're trading live, and I hope small.
I mean, I started actually big. I was extremely confident, and that was probably.
Yeah. I'm sorry.
I think I'm the biggest enemy. The biggest enemy is just basically myself when it comes to trading, and my psychology and self-discipline. That's my basically biggest problems and obstacles, which obviously get me into trouble quite a few times already.
All right. And, so you started trading big. You're using a lot of leverage. How did that work out?
Oh, obviously, yeah. I got myself into trouble. The first big loss I actually had was last year, and I lost $15,000. That was in shorting Nasdaq. Okay. And I mean, I wasn't patient enough. That's the first thing. And the second thing, I basically I was procrastinating a bit. I was hoping the trend gonna reverse. I didn't set the stop losses right. I went to the optician. I came back, and I was there. So I lost quite a lot of money in a very short period of time, trading with a large leverage, and basically I thought I'm invincible. Had quite a few months which were successful, and you know, I basically learned my lesson. I mean, I thought I learned my lesson, because I'm keep doing some mistakes which are fairly similar to what I done in the past. Maybe the leverage is smaller. Maybe I'm basically watching the charts more often, but still I'm making some other mistakes which are also putting me into trouble. Like let's say I've started shorting gold. I mean, partly because of you, Dale, actually. Because I listened to your advice last time, but obviously the fault is entirely mine, and I got some short positions which I probably shouldn't basically open. But yeah, that's the way it is. I mean, it's a combination of psychology, watching the charts, and basically following up the information. and I didn't do that, and probably that's why I'm 30% in red right now in gold.
Okay,
So,
you know, I'm sorry I don't recall being bearish gold, especially over the last month since I was a dollar bear. It doesn't make sense.
I remember. I mean, that was on the beginning of November. Sorry, of December 1st, and I think we were on the 1,250 level, and I think I asked you on Face and I asked you on Twitter, do you think the gold is going to reverse now? And you said, how about it's going to go to 220? I think that's what you said. So that was my first loss.
But from 12, okay, so this is a great teachable moment for you. So the bearish from 1250, looking for 1220, but it went down to 1230. So you had $20 made on the trade, and you lost money on the trade. So I'm going to mentor you live. I'm going to mentor you live that that from now on, anytime you have that type of lead on a trade, you have to at least take partial profits. And a $20 lead to me in gold's a pretty good lead to at least pull your stop down to break even. And
no, absolutely. I mean, I'm the one to blame for it. I mean,
well, I'm not trying to put any blame down. I'm trying to make this a teachable moment because I don't want you to do that again. When you have a lead, and if it's on a currency, I profess it. If you've been here in F.A.C.E for a long time, anytime you have 40, 50 pips on anything that I call out, you go to the door, and then if the on half, and if the market keeps running, you're still there. And if it doesn't, the worst case scenario is you made money and pull your
of course, yes, you're absolutely right.
You promise me you're going to try that.
I promise you, I'm never going to do this again.
Okay, promise me you're going to do it from now on. That you're going to start taking partial profits, and if you need to on your platform, not sure where you trade.
Normally I use IG. Yeah.
Okay, to do say you do a 0.4 normally for a position, do 2.2s so you could trade out of one and keep one of them. Okay?
Yeah.
Is it a deal?
It's a deal, yeah.
Okay, all right, good. So what type of technical analysis would you say that you've gravitated to?
Well, I'm not sure I'm going to be able to explain myself properly. I mean, I basically use a combination because apart from watching the markets and you know, doing the standard analysis, I basically use a combination of all the things which are actually happening. So I trade the news as well as I trade the technicals. I limit myself only to a few things right now. I only try to trade gold. I mean, I got some position in the cryptocurrency, but I mean, that's not my main trade. I only do Ripple. I don't do Bitcoin or anything like it. It's just not my thing. I have no trust in this in the cryptos, basically.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let me ask you this: what has been the biggest benefit of being in F.A.C.E? How long have you been in here since the?
I think I'm coming to F.A.C.E like, obviously I don't do that on a regular basis, but probably for the last 6 months, and both you and basically and Blake and all the other guys. I mean, that's an extremely useful thing for a trader like me, because you know I can watch how you guys do it, you know, professionally, how you make the analysis of the market. And you're also sharing some other ideas. I think the psychology of the market is also extremely important. I think it's a 50% success when it comes to trading, to have a right psychological approach to the market. Like let's say, for example, gold. I'm quite convinced the gold gonna basically reverse, and main reason for it is because I mean we had a low volume, we had the Christmas. I mean, there were no big whales on the market. There was nobody who actually could hammer it down, I think there are quite a few points, psychological points, which could probably support my view on that the gold gonna reverse, and it's not only technicals. While the technicals are pointing up, I think the psychology might have a significant impact on it. So yeah.
Have you read any books that have been influential to you? Any authors or?
Yeah, I mean, I've right now actually I'm halfway through Richard Schabacker Technical Analysis and the Stock Market Profits.
Okay.
I think it's a quite a good book, and I mean, it's just basically it's a basic stuff for a trader like me. It's like encyclopedia. It's almost 600 pages. And I'm basically getting it there, but it's just too much information to digest, and I'm probably gonna learn this over time, I think. And,
okay. Anyone that you consider that you talk about the markets with on a daily basis, or someone that you know that introduced you to trading, that's mentoring you?
I'll be honest. What I do for a living is I rent apartments. I got a service apartment business, and basically I was always watching the property market prognosis, especially for UK. And first I actually got myself interested in gold, in a physical gold, as a hedge against, like, you know, like as a crisis, and that was because of Peter Schiff. I'm pretty sure everybody knows Peter Schiff.
Okay.
So I had a conversation with him on a few occasions, and unfortunately I bought in a really, you know, I bought gold, physical gold, in a bad moment. That was just prior to elections in United States, when actually gold was quite expensive.
Okay.
And I was watching the market since then.
You have a big attraction to gold.
Not necessarily. I mean, that was my trigger. That was the first thing which I actually started trading, and I thought I have to master it, but I'm far from it. And then I was trading quite a lot of things, and I had the advice from Ira Epstein. I'm not sure if you know Ira.
Oh, sure. He's my generation.
Yeah, he's a very good when it comes to charting as well. So I finished his course in the past, which was an online course. But Ira is a very good guy. He's extremely smart, and he just told me to limit myself to, you know, few instruments, and I started doing metals only. So I limit myself only to metals, and I do one crypto, and that's all what I'm doing for now. Until I'm gonna master it, I'm not doing anything else.
Yeah, well, you see, Ira's been around quite some time. I think him and I are in the same tar pit, but he also recalls the floor, that there were traders that never left one trading ring or trading pit, and they didn't have to be portfolio guys. So also I learned in an interview, and that's why I love doing interviews, someone told me that their mentor said, if you can't remember the price of an instrument, you're trading too many. That's right. You should know the last price of whatever you're trading. So that's interesting to me. What's your favorite part of F.A.C.E? Do you stick around for the interviews, or do you bolt, and which analysts do you make sure you don't miss every morning?
Well, I'm definitely gold, but and dollar, yen. But I mean, I'm listening to it all because I'm interested how. I mean, every almost one of you got different views. I mean, sometimes Blake differs from what you are saying, and oh, I forget the other person's name.
Steve Volge.
Yes, Steve. Yeah. I mean, you are not always on the same side of the trade, but Merrill is quite similar, and everybody analyzes the market in a different way. So it's really interesting to see those approaches to trading and just make something out of it. So I'm listening to the whole phase normally from the beginning to the end, and I'm not waiting for a specific thing, maybe apart from gold. But you know, I'm always curious to see how people basically get their ideas.
Okay. So this is not your regular charting platform. You were bringing up the gold-silver ratio. You can't show that to us on this platform. Is that correct?
Well, what I can basically try. Basically, I mean, in gold, I use the following instruments. I use the Bollinger Bands, for example, quite often. And I mean, as you can see, the gold was trading the Bollinger Bands. Was riding the upper edge of the Bollinger Band for the last 3 days. I mean, there is a rule which basically is saying that if the chart closes outside of the Bollinger Band for a 5% of time, normally the reversal is coming. So I even said this on Twitter yesterday, that's probably gold gonna reverse. And I mean, we have quite a few events coming. We got the FOMC meeting. On Friday, we got the non-farm payrolls, and some data is going to be published today. I think some people gonna basically take the money from the table, and we might have some small reversal in place, which basically could follow the standard Fibonacci retracement levels, or providing it's gonna break the 1305 or 1306, around that. I mean, I haven't got the chart in front of me, which I normally use, so it's quite difficult to get this.
In fact, now that you bring up Twitter, now I know who you are. I remember your tweet. So Martin is the name. I don't think it's your handle, but I do remember. And you're always very nice when I get lucky and hit things on the button. You always acknowledge me for it. So now I know who you are, and encourage you to keep tweeting and showing your work there too. It's going to crystallize things for you. What's your favorite aspect of LAR? Is it, do you like the interviews? Do you enjoy when we're all talking? A lot of people like when there's 2 or 3 of us bantering and discussing about the markets. Or what's your favorite part of being here? And go ahead.
I really like the interviews, I must say, especially when you get some traders of a bigger caliber, if I could say, and they are sharing their ideas. So I like this part, and obviously.
Well, I have Martin Dembeck with me today.
Yeah, that's me. Yeah.
So yeah, I get top caliber guys. Let me say something to you, Martin. The most famous guys aren't always the best traders. And I like to bring people in that may not be as well known, because just because you're popular and you have 50,000 followers doesn't make you any more talented than someone who has 400. So, and when you're doing your research and intelligence gathering on Twitter, keep that in mind, that you will find hidden gems in people that aren't famous, that all they do is make money. Not always, but just usually.
Yeah, I mean, normally when you have a bigger trader, they're probably, it's not only limited to trading, it's limited to all kind of business. I mean, when you are doing something for many, many years, you basically, you got some routines, you do the same thing over and over in the same way. And so when you have fresh, when you have fresh traders, when you have young people, I'm fairly young, I'm in my 30s, but they look at things from a different approach, and sometimes it's not necessarily wrong. So I think it's quite interesting thing that basically their thinking might influence your approach to trading as well. And I think the industry of trading is also changing. I mean, obviously I haven't been around for a long time, but you have more and more young people being introduced to the trading platforms, and I think the market is becoming more violent. Obviously, it's a low volume trading, but there's a lot of people, who is actually doing this, and you can see this thing in cryptos. That's why I think that cryptocurrencies it's so violent. It's just going up and down on a very large scale, because there is a lot of people who are basically emotional. If it's going down, it's just going down. People are just running away. They are scared. It's nothing that big traders would probably do.
I have a question from Jay Khanna. Why did you choose the markets and not the casino?
Why did I choose the market, not the casino? Well, I'm not a gambling person, and I think market is more predictable. And quite frankly, I mean, last year I have more wins than I had losses. You know, I end up here making $15,000 in total. So I think, you know, it's not actually bad, considering that I put quite a lot of money and I didn't lose in the end. I don't think it's a casino. And maybe this year I didn't start well, but you know, there is still 12 months remaining. You know, and
you know what? I think you're going to be successful. You have a great attitude, and that was a great answer, because you know, a lot of people are saying, you know, there is no difference, and there is a difference because you have reasons, contingencies, things that give you market messages that tell you there's a reason to assume risk, and then if that reason is taken away, to eliminate the risk and get out, and also things that tell you what the potential of the trade is for. Do you answer all those questions before you press your button? Why am I getting in? Where am I wrong? And if I'm right, what am I looking for?
Yeah, I mean, it's basically important to plan every trade, and in my case, because I have a quite a busy life. You see, I'm stuck in the trade right now because I had a surgery in December, and basically I couldn't close the trade before, and I end up being in hospital longer than I predicted. And when I was out from hospital, I was all in red, and I just couldn't close it. I said, it's gonna reverse. It didn't. But I mean, those things basically happen, and you have to plan in advance every single trade. You have to have a strategy, your exit points, your starting points, and you just have to follow this up on a regular basis. So I mean, trading, I don't think it could be. If
you're on the go, and even you know, unfortunately, you know, no one likes to be in the hospital. But if you're on the go, you know that our phone app would be excellent for you, because you're busy in business doing other things, that the push alerts would keep you abreast of things happening when we're breaching certain important technical areas. I'm just assuming that you're not a subscriber. I would, if you're not.
I'm not, but I'm definitely gonna.
Yeah, I just think for busy people, it's a must-have, because you can turn your head in this business, and if you're waiting to get home to your platform, look, you miss things sitting in front of your platform. How many more are you going to miss not being at your platform? And who wants to be a prisoner to your platform? So just a suggestion for you. And I will say, this will be the commercial part of it. I've never been part of a more competent team of analysts with very good ideas every day. So I want to take this chance to wish you a great New Year. I'm not sure what health issue you had, but when I say Happy New Year to you, Martin, I don't just mean in your trading account. I mean in every way. And you have the courage because you're doing this. You have the courage because a lot of people would be afraid to do what you just did. And leave your Twitter handle so that we could post this interview. And I hope there's a $30 break for you in gold, and appreciate you being with us and being my guest today and addressing the community. It was a pleasure speaking with you. So I guess you're gone, Martin. All right, so that's a wrap for us, everybody. See you, Abdul. See everybody. Good hunting the rest of the day. See you in the other chat room. Remember, don't just count your pips, count your blessings. Everyone thank Martin for, you know, being vulnerable, talking about his experiences. Yeah, there you go. Mike's thanking you. Okay. I'll see everyone tomorrow. Thank you, Blake Morrow, Steve Volge. Will I give them a chance? I'll give you a chance, Jay, anytime. Let me know. So good hunting the rest of the day. See everyone tomorrow for investing.com Thursday. Good hunting. Thanks for your attention.